We have had a doozy of a day.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to the Horror Basement and Beyond with the Big Ball Buddies, Jim Jam and Johnny. I'm Johnny, one of your hosts, and as always, Jim Jam's here with us.
Jim Jam here.
That's how we start out every podcast. We are here at Nooga. If you're listening to this on Spotify, watching it on YouTube, or wherever. So first we have an article. So I don't know if y'all have heard this, but there was a British man that got busted for stealing nearly 200,000 Cadbury eggs. 200,000.
What did he do that for?
Do what?
Why did he do that? He like Cadbury eggs that much?
I don't know. He stole a truck, and then he took the truck and stole a trailer to steal the eggs. And then he was driving down the road, and as he was going down the road, they noticed that the truck was stolen, and the cops pulled him over and stopped him from stealing $37,000 worth of Cadbury eggs. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Y'all like Cadbury eggs? You do?
Negative. I agree. I do not like Cadbury.
Would you steal that many?
How would you sell 200,000 Cadbury eggs on the black market?
Is there a market for black market Cadbury eggs?
Like, would you go to local gas stations or Dollar Trees or Dollar Generals? Dollar Generals are popped up everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just go back. Hey, I got some Cadbury eggs, bro. You need a
undercut the store?
Yeah. How would that work? Because I know some gas stations do buy stolen goods, like certain ones, so that they can stock their store. And if you buy stolen, you're not paying. Because if you go into a gas station, they usually go to Walmart or somewhere and buy mustard, and then they put it in their gas station for $2 or $3 higher than what the mustard would cost at Walmart.
They do that with distilled water too.
Yeah, they do that with everything. Like literally ravioli, they don't get someone to bring that in. They go to Walmart, they buy it, and then these little gas stations around, and they stock their shelves. Most of them do, or the mom and pop ones they're further out, that aren't chained. So I don't know. That's a lot of Cadbury eggs. Or would you fill a bathtub up with them?
Take a bath in Cadbury eggs?
And, I mean, think about the internet. If you had a bathtub full of Cadbury eggs or a pool, and you're diving in, would that hurt? To dive?
Depending on how hot it is, it might be soupy.
It'd be outside, and then all the birds would be attacking you.
Yeah,
bird
shit in there.
Where was it? You wouldn't notice because of all the white from the egg, the yellow and white.
Bird shit mixed with Cadbury egg juice.
And then if it got in your mouth, that'd be, never mind.
Don't drink the water.
But, so this was in Britain, so.
Is that where that originates?
I was going to say, if it was really warm, yeah. Cadbury's over there.
Yeah.
If it was really warm and you put it out in your pool.
And melt. And
melted it, and then you could charge people to go swim in it.
Probably go big on
That'd be gross. Yeah, it would go huge. Like if you had a whole, on the internet it would be huge. It'd be viral.
Everybody wanted to watch that, huh?
Maybe.
They're swimming in the Cadburys. Y'all like a House of 1,000 Corpses? Well, it's got a 20th anniversary box set is coming out.
It's been 20 years?
Yeah. So the disc
that was. Wow.
You'll get a director commentary, making of featurette, casting footage, rehearsal footage. Sounds like stuff you probably got to another one. But it looks cool. Yeah, it's got a little artwork in it and stuff, Usually what they do to resell the movie.
So, I Am Legend is getting a sequel, and it will pick up from alternate ending where Will Smith survived.
You think that's why they did that? The alternate ending, so they could do a part 2?
Probably. I mean, ultimately, I Am Legend was a good movie. Like, that was one of the... It's from 2007, so that was one of the better movies. What was the other movie? I, Robot. That's right, I, Robot. I always get them confused. I don't know why. How? I don't know how.
One's like zombies or something, and the other is...
Well, they both have
robots.
eye in them.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right? I don't know. Now, what is it? The sequel will start a few decades later than the first. Goldsman said he's obsessed with Last of Us, where the world just, post-apocalyptic, but also after a 20 to 30 year lapse. Have y'all watched Last of Us, the series? Any of y'all watching that on HBO?
What's it called?
The Last of Us?
Oh, The Last of Us, yeah. I just started it.
It's so good.
Like episode 4.
Yeah, that's a good show. I don't know if y'all...
I like that so far.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm waiting till all the episodes drop because I don't binge it one weekend.
That's what I got a friend that's exactly like that. She's like, I'll talk about it. What has all the episodes? She asks me this every week, by the way. Every week. What, has all the episodes come out? No, I just told you last week.
Well, you know
That
how many episodes is there in this series? 8 or 9?
Well, HBO's weird. It's either 8 to 12 or 13. Like, you never... Like, I haven't looked it up.
They probably hadn't shot the last few episodes because they're waiting, like, how successful. No, they already greenlit it for second season, right?
Yes, it will get a second season. It's a hit. Like, I mean... And I've seen people post, like, this is what... what's the one? The Walking Dead should have been. Like, people really enjoy The Last of Us so much more. And I don't know, like, The Walking Dead's massive. So,
Well, it used to be.
I didn't watch it, but I couldn't get past Carl getting shot in season 2. I've said this many times.
Not
Yeah,
really.
and
Well, we fizzed out, like, in 2020, we kind of fizzed out of it.
I think that's a lot of people. Like, it just, after so many years, besides Supernatural, 15 years, that was great. I don't know if y'all thought that, but the ending,
The Winchesters? Yeah. It ain't no good.
I haven't watched any of that. I was trying to look up how many episodes.
Maybe they'll bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan back later.
Is he?
Oh, well, he's busy with The Walking Dead then.
Oh, is he getting a spinoff?
Oh, yeah, him and Maggie.
Are they going to be a couple?
No, they're gonna be like...
I was about to say, that'd be weird.
They're gonna be teaming up together, but, like,
Talk
not
about-
friends, but...
Talk about a smack in the face to Glenn.
Frenemies. They're gonna be frenemies.
Could you imagine that? That'd be a slap in the face to Glenn in the afterlife. Like, you killed me and then you're going to be my kid's stepdad?
9, yeah. That's what I was trying to find, and it took me forever to find 9 episodes. I don't know if y'all, because, like I say, HBO's weird, because I don't know if y'all watch Titans on there, but it's this, well, this final season, well, which it might not be the final season now. I don't know. I've seen, but it stopped at like 6, and it's not going to be back out until like either next month or April for the final half, and that's a good show. I enjoy that show.
I just started to, but I'm only
Season 3 or
no, season 1.
oh, season 1. It gets better like as it goes on. Season, like I like the story of Raven in there, like, and after her story, she kind of goes away in the season 2, but it's
That's so Raven?
no, I think that's her name, Raven. Is it Raven? Is her name Raven? Okay, well that's fine.
Be stupid.
Yeah, I know you're trying to be stupid.
It's going to have to be hard to do that,
Do it? No, it don't take much for you to be stupid. You're right.
Hey, but what? Hold on. Oh, really, Tim?
I was trying to think of other shows. Now that we're talking about shows, what shows do y'all watch?
Did you see Station 11 on HBO?
No,
Also post-apocalyptic.
no.
It's very good.
Does it have subtitles?
Subtitles. I think they all have subtitles.
No, I'm talking about.
Is it like in
Is it-
another language, or do they have English?
Oh,
It has an English language.
Okay.
I gotta look this up.
Station 11. Very good. Very good. It's based on a novel.
I heard that show, that I saw somewhere like on my Facebook.
Oh,
feed that
I know what you're talking
Showtime was doing another, they're gonna do like an origin of Dexter series. You know how they came back out with Dexter?
Yeah, yeah.
Season now, I've heard that they're gonna do like an origin. of,
So would that be like young Sheldon? It would be like young Dexter. You know what I mean? I didn't watch Young Sheldon, but I watched. My grandmother loved
What
The
about
Big Bang
Young
Theory.
Rock?
Oh, Young Rock.
Dwayne Johnson. That's a fun.
Well,
fun
I mean,
show.
come on. That's like everybody hates Chris.
Is
yeah.
that talking about Chris Rock?
Yeah, Chris Rock. Like that was a funny show. What? Everybody hates Chris?
Oh.
Oh,
See, we already know Dexter's origin, so we don't really need an origin.
yeah. Didn't
I
I?
don't know if it's true or not, I just.
But didn't like the series give out like throughout the whole?
The original series.
Yeah, like the whole. Was it 8 seasons of Dexter? You know, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be honest here. I watched all the seasons of Dexter, but I didn't watch the last 2 episodes.
Well, the last episode.
I heard that it was disappointing ending, and I loved the show so much. And it was on Netflix at the time, and I was watching it with my girlfriend then, and they're like, "Well, the last 2 episodes aren't that the best, you know," and so I didn't want to ruin it. I don't know. I'm weird. Like I don't want to spoil it, like just the ending, because they're like, "Oh, well, he goes and he's a lumberjack or something," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess I really don't need to." And that's been 7 years ago. And
Don't you feel incomplete having not finished it?
no. And dude, there's a lot of stuff like I won't watch the last episode of. I don't know, because I don't want it
You
to be
make your-
complete.
You make your own last
Yeah, you know what I'm
episode.
saying? Like it's where it can continue to live in my mind. And I can make up whatever I want to. I don't know their story.
Johnny, does that mean you
They-
got fan fiction in your mind?
So you're not bothered when a season ends on a cliffhanger they don't renew it? That's
Oh, I am. Yes, I am super bothered. Yes, you're right. I am. I don't. Here's one crap, and I can't think of it now. It was such a good TV show, and it come on at the time. It was not the CW, the WB. This was early 2000s. And I cannot think of it. It had like a devil, and the kid was the son of the devil. Reaper. It was on 1 season. And I only had an antenna at the time. And of course, I don't know, 2003, the internet wasn't the best on your cell phone. And
There were
even,
cell phones in?
yeah, there were cell phones then.
I was too broke to have one.
Yeah, there was flip phones. I had a flip phone, and it was color but not color.
How does that make sense?
Yeah, it showed
green?
blues.
Oh.
And
Did it
it
have
was,
Snake on it?
I don't know,
It
dude.
had that game Snake on it?
Like you get a picture of someone, and like they would be pixelated and kind of pink, you know, like flesh toned. But anyways, Reaper was a good show, and I really liked it. And some of the actors I see now, and other things, Socks, which he was on Tucker and Dale.
Uh-huh.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is our favorite
Greatest
movie.
movie ever made.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That is one of the best, like, horror comedies ever made, and we've talked about it on the podcast. That people that are listening to us are probably like, sick and tired here, fucking Tucker and Dale. But
shouldn't
it gets
be.
brought up a lot.
It needs a sequel.
But the guy that played, I don't know if it was Tucker or Dale, he was in it.
The 50-50 chance is one of them.
Yes, the heftier guy, and he had a couple of shows, and then another guy. I can't think. It don't matter. Anyways, but we're talking about shows that got canceled and didn't get a season. What else are y'all watching? There's a new one. Him, Tyler Labine.
Oh,
He played Dale. I haven't watched Penny Dreadful. No.
Stand Against Evil.
Is that on?
Did you watch it? Amy did.
Is that good?
That woman watches all kinds of stuff.
And my brother's the same way. He gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's already watched the movie by the time I get up, and I'm like, what the
You go to
fuck?
bed? You go to bed early or something?
He goes to bed and reads, and then I guess I don't know what time he actually goes to sleep. I've been watching a lot more animes lately. I don't know if y'all watch animes, but like more adult cartoons is what I call them. But like on Amazon Prime, there's one called Vox Machina that's really good. Yeah, it means voice machine, and it's I don't know the people who they are. Like they do Critical Role, and they're voice actors. Like I didn't know them, but they do. I guess play D&D, and they're like famous voice actors that people probably know that are more into anime and stuff than I am. That's a really good.
Well, they got a D&D movie coming out.
Yeah, they do have a D&D movie coming out.
Looks funny.
I don't know.
It's a comedy, I guess. The way I saw it looked like a comedy.
I'm trying to think of other shows I've been watching.
Only shows I really watch is wrestling.
The wrestling.
He got me back into it, and then he quit watching it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you got to move on eventually.
No, you never move on.
So, you want to talk about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yes, that great movie.
So, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Oh, come on. Where are we at?
Turn the sound off.
That's the Predator.
He's interrupting the show. Yeah, we went to Murfreesboro and watched this. Paid $18 a ticket to watch a movie that should, it was a Fathom event. This movie is one of them straight to DVD movies, and it got released.
Straight to VOD.
Yeah, straight to DVD. Who does that anymore?
Straight to VHS. Coming right at you. So this is after Christopher Robin abandons Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and all them to go to college.
What the fuck happened to Rabbit? He was involved in the cartoon in the beginning.
I think they ate him too. Pooh and Piglet embark on a bloody rampage as they...
We gotta tell him first. We're gonna spoil the shit out of this movie.
I told him at the beginning.
Well, I'm gonna reiterate it. Go ahead.
Yeah, this movie is going to get spoiled.
I don't care, spoil away.
I don't know if it's going to really spoil it for you because you might not go watch it anyways.
It might
It's got
be
a 4.5 out of 10.
It'll probably be on Tubi next week.
It should have been a Tubi movie.
It's got a part 2 though, and on one day of it being in theaters, it made $1 million.
So they claim.
Yeah, I don't know how. IMDb says it's true if it says it. Okay. No one can fudge them numbers.
So, you have to go in to this movie
With an open mind.
super open mind, super open, because there's a lot of conflicting things in my head, and it's shot over in England. I guess it's like a UK movie, so I don't know what their timelines are compared to America. Maybe their time runs different for college, which the guy Christopher Robin was going to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, 7 years? 7 years?
Amy,
But they never
how
really
long does a doctor take?
but they never really say that he become a doctor.
Total 8 once you do your med school and residency.
Yeah, so they never really said that he become a doctor, that he was just going to college to be a doctor.
A college dropout.
Yes, can I help you?
In UK, you graduate high school at 16.
That might
Oh, well, that's even worse. Because,
So you saying they're dumber?
well, no, I'm just saying it's even worse because the claim is that within the time that Christopher Robin left, they were real little, And by the time he come back, and he's just getting out of college, they're massive. And that they spend all their time together. And he brings, at the beginning, he opens up and he's with his girlfriend. And he brings his girlfriend, or wife. Is it his girlfriend or wife? Because he says at the beginning, you're going to be married Christopher Robbins. But then later on, they say that they're married. So I don't know.
It's confusing.
It is confusing. And he wanted to bring her back.
To meet him?
To meet him. And because he was telling her these stories that he had a bear friend and a pig friend. And these are hybrids. They're considered hybrids. So they're half human, half animal.
They got animal heads. That's
Yes.
all that really they got.
Well, they got animal colored hands. Like Pooh had yellow hands.
He had yellow hair. All he had was dishwashing gloves on.
Well, you got to suspend your reality here. But, and she's like scared right away because he's like, don't you believe me? That I told you that, well, I believe that you thought you had, interactions like I don't think you're crazy. A lot of people had imaginary friends. And we're talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah.
That movie?
Yes. We're going to spoil the shit out of it. We already told these people that. Spoiler alert.
He said that movie.
Yes.
He knows.
I haven't seen it, but
Yeah, it's going to get spoiled. It's going to feel like you've seen it because we're going to describe it so well that's probably a lie.
You're going to want to go watch it now.
It's probably a super lie, but
It's gonna force us to lose an hour and a half of our time later watching it.
it's only an hour and 24 minutes. So, it's a proper amount of time. Because there are some movies, a lot of horror movies, and small budget, low budget, that
Now
could
it's
have been
time to
30
say goodbye to the basement guys again. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality.
But anyway,
Or that is spooks and
Winnie the Pooh,
spells.
Blood and Honey.
Take your shirt off.
So they
Y'all come
get to
back
the 100
now.
acres.
Here?
And this is where, I don't know where they got to shoot this at because it looks like someone's logging, like they're at a place where they're like really just tearing down a whole forest because the roads are super wide, like gravel, and it's just mud on the sides, and you can see where they've cut down the trees. So I don't know where they're at shooting this. But they walk in, there's wood piles, and then there's a freshly painted, what am I doing?
Ashdown Forest in East Sussex, England.
Okay.
Is where they filmed it.
Okay, and Ashdown Forest, East Sussex.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty freshly painted 100-acre wood sign. And it's kind of, okay, I mean, you could probably distressed it.
It looks like blood dripping.
Was
It's
that
just
blood?
paint. It's just paint. It's probably just paint drip.
And then they walk by one, and you see, if you ever watch the trailer, it says Eeyore, like R.I.P. Eeyore. And but they ate Eeyore years before. Because they'll show like a cartoon or like an animated thing, because they don't show them eating Eeyore. They just tell you like they become this way because Christopher left for college, and then they were starving. Winter hit, and they had them real skinny, like in the drawing. So it was funny and cool. And then they're like, but they had to revert, and Winnie or Pooh, whatever, decided to eat Eeyore. And Eeyore's in the back, like, scared as fuck. And they kill him and eat him. And that just messed them up. So they hated all humans, and especially Christopher Robin.
They come feral, right?
Yeah, they become feral. That's what the trailer said, but to me, I don't know. I guess you would call it feral because they're animals. But they had a hatred for humans just because they were abandoned. Because Christopher Robin took them from where they were and took them and started feeding them. And, which you're not supposed to do with animals because then they become reliant on you. And he promised to be with them forever. Like later on in this movie, it talks about that.
They could have taken him to court and got alimony.
Like in Honey or?
Yeah. No, to keep them up their way of life.
Well, I mean, no one even knew they existed.
Anyway, I thought that would be funny to say.
You can speak louder. You don't have to be shy in front of these, Jimmy.
I'm not shy.
Why are you talking so low?
You're shy.
Anyways, this is how this goes. He throws me off, and then we're where were we at? So they're at the place,
Yeah.
the 100-acre woods. We're still here at the very, very beginning.
By the way, where Pooh and Piglet live, phenomenal. Looks like a resort.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet.
I'm just saying, when we get there, it's nice.
It is nice.
They
I
got,
don't know where they shot that at. Why don't you go ahead and look
like
that
a deck.
up? Too?
They got a fire pit.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Okay, that's another thing. So she's all scared and it's like, no, we need to turn back. And then he finally finds the entrance to where they were, and it's like a wood tunnel, but like the trees and stuff or roots are like going around, and like it creates a tunnel. It's super nice. It's cool. I don't know, like I say, where they shot that at either. They end up coming out, and there's a tree house. And like whoever owns it or wherever they got to shoot or if they built it, they did a great job.
Yeah.
Then they go in, and he's looking around. He's like, everything's changed. This isn't how it was when I left. It's like, yeah, because you abandoned it 30 years ago, I guess, because I don't know the timeline. It didn't tell me. I don't know. I guess 6, right? 6 years?
Yeah, something like that.
I guess 6 years. I don't know. And for some reason, she's just scared. I don't know
She
where
senses something.
I don't know where the fear comes from that, but she's scared, and they hear something, and they hide in the room, and she's just hiding behind the bed, and he's under the bed, and Pooh comes and lays down. They don't really show Pooh at the beginning though.
Yeah, he's all tuckered out from all that honey.
Must be. He got a diabetic coma. Had to go to sleep.
Got diabetes.
The diabetes. And so he finally sleeps, and it turns from daylight to dark, and they sneak out. And while they're sneaking out, they hear something, and then next thing you know, Piglet is there, and he just has a chain, and he throws it over her neck, and he starts choking her, and like any great man would do, Piglet, stop! Stop! He don't do anything to stop him.
He just screams at him, crying.
Yes, and that's the whole movie. They don't really do much to stop him. They just scream at him. But anyway, he's like, stop! And I guess he breaks her neck, and he's dead. And then
She's dead.
she's dead. Yeah, and then does he go running?
I don't know. Somehow he goes running, and they catch up to him, and you think it's over, and then it cuts to these girls, right?
Yes. That's where the story changes. And it's no longer about Christopher Robin. It's about this one girl
Stalked.
that got stalked and was told to take a vacation. And she chose the worst fucking place to take a vacation. But she got a group of friends, and they go. It's so weird because they found she's driving out. She calls one friend. I guess all the other friends are with her, right?
Yeah.
She calls the one friend, and she's driving by herself, and they got 3 or 4 other friends with them.
Four
or
in
2?
the cabin already, and one on the way.
Oh, 4 at the cabin, 1 on the way. No, they're not even there yet.
They're there.
No,
They're in
they
the cab-
drive.
Yeah, they drive there. But the girl, when she calls, though, they already put their phones in that little pile, and that's why she couldn't get a hold of them.
Yeah, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
See, we're trying to give them an experience like they're there.
They killed Christopher Robin and just changed over to a new character.
That's what you think. That's what's weird. That's what's odd. Because they're driving, like the one girl's driving up, and they stop at a gas station, but like it's the most rundown gas station you've ever seen in your life. Or I don't even know what they call it.
Petrol station?
Yeah. And the door's like cracked, because it don't shut all the way.
You can plainly look at these pumps and tell they do not work.
And she goes in and she's like, hey. And this country ass American guy comes out. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was in the back. And there's just like shit stacked up everywhere. Like it's not a working store. So they obviously found a place and shot in it. You know, they didn't try to fix it up. Whatever was in it was in it. He said, them pumps ain't worked in years, as you can tell. And then some other people come in like they're going to buy from them. And it's just like, you're not buying anything from there. Like, there's literally like just
Trash.
junk stacked up.
It's like
Obviously a place that's no longer in
Yeah. Yeah, but he was acting like, and that's where it's a low budget movie. You gotta kind of overlook that, I guess.
They did some guerrilla filming, is what that was.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, they just found a place and like, it's a perfect place. So we didn't got to ask permission. Just hurry up.
Yeah, and but the one I know Americans live in the UK, but it was just weird, like because everyone had a British accent up until that point,
Except that guy.
and it's only that guy for the whole movie. I was thinking maybe one of the girls would have an American accent, but they don't. So they finally get to the cabin, and then the one friend had called her one friend, and she can't find her way there. So she gets lost, and she's like, it's the 100 acres woods, right? And she's parked in the middle of the road and gets out.
She's looking at the sign, right?
Yeah, and she's looking at the sign. And then next thing you know, she's just walking around in the fucking woods. Just walking around. And she looks over, and there's Winnie the Pooh. Like, she's like, oh shit.
That's not normal.
So I haven't seen this movie, but would you recommend it to someone that hasn't seen it? Is yes or no?
Yes.
If you find it for free on Tubi.
I'm so glad I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah, only if it's free on Tubi. I wouldn't recommend paying for it. We made the mistake of paying $18 for the ticket. But we saw it in theaters.
I don't call it a mistake. These fine people are getting to hear our rendition of it.
It's a Disney movie. It's original Disney stuff. Turned into 5 years.
Yeah, because it come to public domain.
Yeah.
There is going to be a Peter Pan horror movie
And then Bambi.
and a
Reckoning.
Bambi horror movie, and then the word on the street or on the internet is that they're going to make it a universe where eventually Winnie the Pooh and Bambi are going to meet. And the only thing I can think of is it's going to be some sort of environmental, like kill the loggers. Like what else would you do? Is Bambi run? Is it a half human, half deer?
So that's going to look like, what are them, half human, half horses? Yeah, it's going to be like a centaur.
Well, is the horse going? So the deer would be up front, and then the human in the back, right?
No, it's just going to be, it's just going to have a deer head.
You know what I'm talking about? Well, you seen the motorcycle guy in the Geico commercials?
That's true.
I mean,
Motorcycle have.
What was he called? I don't know what he was called. Anyways.
That would be funny if they did that, though. But they'd probably find a mask that has antlers and just have them wear it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be.
True. The loggers killed his mom.
Well, and that's the only thing I can think of is like the Bambi movie would be like true, but I guess Winnie the Pooh, like they said, the reason why he hates humans is because Christopher Robin's abandoned him.
I mean, that's the pretty
And so,
easy reason.
this movie's super lazy in the writing. Trust me, they didn't expect this movie to hit theaters. It only got to theater because it was Winnie the Pooh. It blew up on the internet, and people sent them death threats and just news articles. You know, it was on the front of a lot of the news media on the internet.
Yeah, what they say, George say that the picture, the movie poster just blew up.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to see it, so I guess they got teamed up with Fathom Events, and
Yeah.
now we have the movie
It's
in
wild.
theaters. Well, it was in the theater for one day.
Yeah, they claim that, like we said, it's going to be 9 days, but I haven't seen it go any further. When I looked, it wasn't going to be local.
So this is like one of those popcorn horror flicks, the old
And
90s horror kind of stuff.
Theater.
yeah, it really reminded me of like when independent movies got put in theater, because they're not the best, but there's some good kills in it, and the stories, you know, like independent horror movies, the stories, a lot of them aren't the best. That's just. But you go in and you see the kills and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, that's funny. Because I laughed. I laugh at most of the kills because it's just funny what they do. But old chick that's running from Winnie the Pooh,
I'll find it.
she runs, and then there's a building out in the middle of nowhere somehow in the woods, and she goes under, and yeah, she gets under the door, you know, the big garage door, and it's like stocked full of killing stuff, I guess you'd say.
I think Tina was the one the friend that got lost.
Yeah, probably Tina.
So basically there's just a weapon every.
And it looked almost, maybe that could have been their kill room, because it seemed like they come back to it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was their kill room, really, or they used it later on as their kill room.
Let me guess, she didn't even bother picking up anything.
No,
Okay.
They don't.
She
try,
hid.
They have,
and he come like Pooh just went through a door, just opened a door, I guess, because you just hear him like. That's all you hear, and so you know he's in, and he finds her, and did he choke her to death first or hit her? Oh no! This was a good kill. There was a wood chipper there that somehow ran. I don't fucking know. I mean, like I say, just I'll believe.
consistency is not with this movie at all.
Yeah, and he smashes her head. I mean, like half, like on the edge, you know,
The
and like
width
half
of
of
it?
it, yeah, half of it's gone, and it was a good special effect, you know. And then,
But when they did show the exit or where everything comes out, it
Well-
was CGI blood.
yeah, we're getting there. Well, they shove her into the wood chipper, and remember, half her head's gone, right? She's kicking her legs, and I'm like, but she's in the wood chipper already. Half of her body's already in there, and she's like this, and I'm like, but half of her head was gone to begin with before she. Yeah, it's. I guess.
Well, she was screaming still.
Yeah, and she was screaming while she was in the wood chipper. I don't know.
Is it PG-13 or is it?
No, not at all. It shows. I think there's nudity in this movie.
Yeah, he ripped her shirt off.
Yeah, no reason for it. But,
Yeah, that was the only nudity in the. It was at the beginning. I guess that's to keep people there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely rated R.
Like the only thing I can think of is like maybe you have some young teens watching it, and that maybe well, there was boobs
No
once,
reason,
maybe
they
there's
grabbed her
boobs
and-
more.
Oh, just to see it.
She probably was willing to show her boobs, so he
And
just.
they
okay.
said,
Yeah, it is, man. That's the way it
Takes it to a
most
whole
people.
nother level.
yeah, because there was no other ones, you know.
She probably did get paid extra, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine. But so then, like Jim Jam said, CGI blood, and it's kind of like, okay, I guess, you know. And then they end up back at. Then it transfers back over to the cabin, or did they go to Christopher Robin then?
No. Oh yeah, they showed.
I think they showed
He
him.
was-
He was in the corner, and he was tied up. So then you find out that he's alive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed this Easter egg, but they whip him.
With her hair in it.
Not her hair. I think that was Eeyore's tail.
Oh.
They'd kept Eeyore's tail and was using it as, and it didn't look like it had anything spiked on the bottom,
Well,
but it like
also Pooh's hand didn't have claws.
it left some lashes on him, but it was just like a mane,
Canonical that Eeyore's tail literally is pulled on by
a pin. Yeah. So maybe that was, I guess because they didn't really show it because that was in the dark. Like a lot of the killing stuff was in the dark a little
Probably
bit more.
best that way.
Because like when they hit him, you could already tell like he already had like the special effects on him, which they looked pretty good.
Yeah,
You know,
makeup.
even the side of his face was like kind of like
Bruised.
no, like it was sore. Like I don't know if they like Piglet bit it off or or they cut it or something. And then so they're back at the cabin and they turn all their phones in, right? Well, I guess we already passed that. They turned their phones in because the old chick was calling them. Even though they knew that she wasn't there and couldn't find them, they pretty much abandoned her because
Yeah.
she's calling their phones and they don't answer because she's lost, and then she ends up getting killed and they don't know. And the one chick is like, one of them's like super annoying, like, you know, all about the phone, all about the way she looks, you know, you got that one. And then there's one girl that's like best friends with the one that got stalked, and that comes out then, like, she tells them, you know, I was stalked, and they're like, I didn't know. And then there's there's a couple, two of the girls are together. So the one, there's pretty much two groups of friends, and then the one's kind of singled out. And the one that was singled out that's annoying, she's like, well, I'm going to go to the pool. And she goes out into the hot tub.
She must have forgot there was a pool.
Yeah. She sits out in the hot tub, and it's cold there. They had the fire going in the house. And she's just out in the hot tub taking pictures, selfies.
This is how she took selfies, though. This way, and not the normal way. And then she goes to review her pictures, and she's throwing up a peace sign, and she wasn't even doing that when she was taking the pictures.
And then she notices Pooh was in the background.
Yeah.
And then, you know what she does? She gets out. Are you the one that was stalking? I don't know her name. Whatever her name was. Because why are you going to learn anyone's name in this movie? Maria.
That's her real name, by the way.
No, Maria. So, are you the one stalking Maria? I don't care. You're not going to ruin my fun. So she gets back in the hot tub with her back facing to where she's seen the person. After she turns on a light, and of course the light flickers. You know, like, yeah, she turned on a light and it's like, so you see like Pooh and Piglet walking up, you know, every time it flashes they get a little closer.
But it wasn't pitch black because you could still see them in the background walking up. So they kind of failed on that.
And they just grab her, right? And just pull her. Yeah, they grab her and pull her out.
She's the one that yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they grab her and pull her out. And mind you that there's 4 other people there.
3 after that, because she's the 4th
No.
one. The other one, there was 4 to start with in the cabin.
No, there's still 4 people. There's 5 in the cabin.
Gotcha. My bad. Yeah,
5 in the cabin. There's 4 other people there. And next thing you know, they cut, and she's hogtied
legs like
in the driveway of the cabin.
Could easily hear her screaming.
Somehow they got the keys to the car, and Pooh's behind the driver's seat, and it's a BMW.
He's in there just going.
Yeah, just whoa. I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
Where'd they learn how to drive? Who taught them how to drive?
they're in the middle of the fucking woods. You're going to hear someone revving a car up outside, would you not?
Yeah.
Like, there's no real music going on.
And then Piglet's out there just
Dragging a, I guess
all of
it'd be a
sudden
maul.
he's-
I don't know, like a
yeah,
fucking
he's all of a
sledgehammer.
sudden dragging it like he's got something wrong with his leg. Right before that, he was perfectly fine pulling her out of the hot tub, and now he's
And Jim Jam was like, why is he limping? I was like, I guess that sledgehammer's like 100 pounds. I don't know.
yeah, that was just weird. I think. It was
But I
just-
mean, he just revving the shit out of it. The whole.
he don't even use them all.
And I think they did this because they did a lot of stuff where, like, you have to extend the movie.
How's he tall enough to even reach the tap?
Oh no, he's a regular sized human with a big old belly. Yeah, because he's a hybrid.
Yeah, that's the
Pit-
thing. They're hybrids.
Bear, yeah,
Even canonical size.
So they got everything. It's just a man with a mask, really.
yeah. That's pretty much what they look like. I don't know where they come from. They never said that. I guess they don't. Maybe they'll do an origin story.
Yeah. They come to realize that this whole time that it was just mask on these little stuffed animals.
So the 5 other people don't hear screaming
Well, they don't even hear the car.
from the hot tub. They don't hear the car.
Yes, and so they're revving it, and you think that Piglet's going to smash her head in. Nope. Here comes Pooh.
No, like Piglet turns around and he gives a thumbs up. Like,
Yeah.
she's ready.
Yeah.
You scared her enough. Go ahead.
And he comes up and
But
like,
he's standing in front of the car, so Pooh has to turn the wheel and drive around Piglet.
and he drives, and she screams, and he crushes her head with the wheel, or actually drives on top of her head first.
And then
Then it crushes, which was pretty cool. It's a cool scene.
yeah.
But she screamed, and then it was like the two girls are all of a sudden on a dock, which I guess that's fine. You know, they're sitting there on a dock. I thought it was cold outside. I don't know. Like, you got the fire on in the house. Like,
Oh,
is
yeah,
it
they
fucking
were.
cold or is it not cold? You know, they got sweaters on. Like, what are you, like, I don't understand. The one chick's out in a bikini. Like, fuck,
She's
is
in
it
a hot
cold?
tub, though.
Yeah, but she got out like it was fine. There was no steam coming up. Like, so I don't fucking, like, I don't know. UK weather, I guess.
Different.
Yeah, well, that was that too. They wanted someone in a bikini. And I think it's just because it's like, well, the one girl showed her boobs, maybe she'll show hers. And she don't, you know. I think that's just why they showed the first girl. It's like, so that guys and some girls would probably just hope that that's going to happen.
More tits.
Yeah, please. Blood, guts, and boobs.
You can buy that shirt on their website, by the way.
Yeah. Best movies have blood, guts, and boobs.
Which
but-
this is BGB certified, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be, technically. There's one set of boobs. But, so they're like sitting there like, was that? I don't know her name. It sounded like she screamed. It's like, you didn't hear the car revving up? So they run back and the car's parked and she's her body and you see the head is just crushed.
At first, they run by, they don't see it, then they look back and stuff.
Yeah, and the one girl's just screaming, ah, you know.
And the car's still running. They don't notice the car just sitting there running.
No.
No.
And they run in and they're just screaming and screaming. And so, what's her name? Oh, you never looked it up. She's dead. And when they come into the main room, the one girls are up top. They were in
It
the.
was Jess.
Was that Jess?
Jess or Zoe.
Oh, it was that girl.
Which one?
That girl.
That's the one that got killed.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, Laura.
Laura. Laura's dead. Oh my God. And they run into the main, like, and they got big windows and it says, "Get out." And I was like, Jordan Peele, that son of a bitch.
Made a cameo.
You know what I mean? Because it just said "Get out" in blood. And they're like, they could be in the house, and they rub their hand. That's from the outside. So they wrote "Get out" backwards.
Someone taught them how to write.
These hybrids are smart. They don't talk through the whole movie. Yes,
Backwards,
Christopher
too.
Robbins taught them how to do
What
this
it was Piglet went inside, and he showed them how to do it from the
shit. Probably like
Just
put it on there,
Trace this with
and
blood
then
on the outside.
breathe. They're just breathing on it.
That needs to be a.
Or they get the tea kettle warm and go over there and hold the steam up. I don't know. You know, they didn't have one cup of tea that whole movie. I mean, they are in the UK.
They didn't have biscuits either. Is that
Yeah.
what crack? Is that what?
Yeah, the little cookies, cucumber sandwiches.
But it's not facing her. Is it
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's UK. Yeah,
because Pooh was sitting on the passenger side.
yeah. Oh yeah, they're passenger side. Yeah. Well, our passenger side.
So that you're driving on the passenger side.
Yeah, yeah,
He had his.
Who's supposed to be set in England?
yeah. It's set in England. Like there's no. I thought it would have been an American movie for some reason when I went in. Yeah, it's an English movie. Yeah, it's surprising. I was totally surprised. That's why when I say we seen the one American guy come out, and I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Where'd they? Because I was like, are they in the U.S. or are they in England? Because you only seen like a couple of people before that talk. But then when they got to the cabin, all the girls had a British accent, an English accent. So I was like, oh, so they are. And then I realized, oh yeah, it did say the gas was in liters. So it's
Hey,
like, okay.
I know why he was over. He come over to have his lifelong dream was to have a gas station in the middle of the woods in England.
Yeah, I mean, where they're logging the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, just a couple miles down the road, there's a gas station that works. The fuck are you doing here?
He's remodeling. He's flipping it. That's what happened. He
That
inherited. No, he inherited it. He inherited that gas station.
But he comes back in, and the only reason why they showed this guy is because he does appear later on. So they're there, and the one chick is like, one of the girlfriends is like, we need to go to the kitchen and get some weapons. So she got a knife, and then did Pooh get in yet? I think they seen him. And after they're just sitting there screaming and not doing shit, they're not even trying to hide.
Is this the time? Okay,
Yes.
They go and get a pistol.
Yeah, the one girl's like, I got a gun.
Like in the UK, I thought guns were
What do y'all
outlawed or
mean?
illegal.
Yeah, and it's a fucking revolver. No,
Yeah,
or is
it's
it
a
just a
big ass
pistol?
revolver, too.
Or is it just a pistol?
No,
I don't
it's
know.
a revolver.
She's like, I got a gun. It's up in my room though. It's like nobody's in the house. Like,
They
yeah, go
they-
fucking get it. Why are y'all waiting? Like
Oh,
they were
this-
sitting there waiting, like just, and that's the whole movie, like where they're just scared women. Do you know what I mean?
So they go and get the gun, come
And
back
it's
and lay
fucking
on
big
the.
gun, man. Some bitch was like-
Yeah, they lay it on the floor, and Pooh walks. He's walking away from them. They don't even attempt to shoot
Yeah,
him.
yeah, they're upstairs, and she could have just shot him. Which I guess that would have. I'm poaching, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she didn't have her fucking. Maybe she didn't have her hunting license. I don't know, dude.
He didn't have her bear hunting license.
I guess I don't know. I mean, he is an exotic bear. Like, yeah, what kind of
Hybrid.
fucking license do you get for that? Yeah.
Stand your ground. I mean,
This is England. This ain't Florida. And that's the other thing is like I didn't think that you could own like hunting rifles and stuff in the UK. But I didn't think you could own pistols.
I don't think you can. That's a black. That's a black
I don't think you
market
can.
pistol.
Yeah, but she got it because of the stalker. And this is where the one girls are like, they get out to the pool. There is a pool there. It's
So this is
it's
the
a lap
This
pool.
is the couple, right?
Yeah, it's the couple. It is a lap pool.
So
And
that's Zoe and Jess.
Zoe and Jess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get out there and they're just, looking around. Who?
Handguns are illegal.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But it was a big handgun, so maybe I don't know.
It looked like a Dirty Harry.
They need a license.
And it also looked plastic.
Yeah, very plasticky.
I mean, I was like, that looks like plastic. So maybe it was just. Anyway, it don't matter about the handgun. Doesn't matter. But so they get to the pool. And like I say, it's a lap pool, and Piglet comes in, and I didn't really see what he did. But the one girl that didn't have the knife,
She fell. She just fell.
yeah, like he hit her, and she was out. She was done.
Is that the one that got hit in the face, and it just left a bruise?
Yeah, later on.
Okay, well, this will be important in a little bit.
Yeah, so she's out, and then the one chick.
He knocked
Once
her into
again-
the pool. He knocked her into
Well,
the
no,
pool.
no, but once again, just yelling. No, stop. And doesn't. She's got a knife, right?
Yeah.
At the time, she had a knife. Why did not even run into attack her? But yeah, eventually she gets knocked. No, that's the other one. No, the gun, the couple with the gun are inside. So the best friends are inside, and the couple is outside. There's 4 now.
Yeah, down to 4.
We're down to 4. Went
Two-
from 6.
Two died.
Went from 6 to
Two
4.
outside, one of them had a knife as well.
The couple.
The couple outside also had.
Yeah, they come in. They got a knife after they were screaming and hollering, and they found the other 2 that come from upstairs, and then the one's like, I got a gun upstairs. So they went upstairs, and the couple that are in love with each other, which I think they're a new couple. Anyway, that don't matter. We're gonna.
Okay, so one gets knocked down, the other one has a knife.
Yeah,
She gets
and
knocked into the pool.
she gets knocked into the lap pool.
And the lap pool is like 3 foot deep.
Yeah, because it's a lap
She's
pool.
acting like
it's-
she cannot stand up in this water.
and maybe she was super short. I don't know.
She's a little person
Because she didn't look super short, but she's like,
struggling to get it to the other end. She gets to the other end and just stands there, waiting on Piglet. To
and then
walk towards
Piglet comes in.
He's got the maul.
Yes, and no, well, when she was in the pool, he was throwing a chain at her, like slapping a chain at her.
And then he walked into the pool with the
Yeah,
hammer.
And so she's walking away,
And then she stops and don't try to get out of the pool.
and then he turns around to go back to her girlfriend. So she walks back toward him,
Yeah, that.
which is weird, and then he turns back around and walks back toward her.
But as
Instead of
she's
trying
running,
to get out of the pool,
she's running a length of the lap pool, and he's swinging the hammer.
yeah, splashing effect. And then the one girl wakes up. What's her name?
One of the two.
But the one girl that got knocked out wakes up. Jess
Yeah.
wakes up and's like, no. What's the other one's name? Laura?
Zoe.
Zoe? No, Zoe, no. And sees her get her face just destroyed.
And then she just passes back out.
And then she passes back out.
Wait, Johnny, one more time. What did she say again?
No. Oh, no.
Don't get me.
No, don't do that. And so the other two are still in the house, and then they go to the pool and notice that Zoe has just been brutally her head's, there's fake water in the blood. Like, I think it's CGI blood.
There's fake water in the blood?
Or fake blood in the water. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to see Tigger, you have to see.
Tigger is not in the public domain.
Really?
So, yeah, they can't mention
He's
that.
So Rabbit.
Rabbit is dead. It's the only thing I can think of.
He's never mentioned.
Dead, and I'm thinking they ate Rabbit.
But in the little the video or the little cartoon before, it shows Rabbit, but
Yeah.
it never says what happened to Rabbit. Don't
Yeah.
even have a R.I.P. Rabbit or nothing. They just like fuck Rabbit.
I'm guessing they couldn't find a mask.
He probably saw what happened to Eeyore and he got the hell out. He's like, ain't eating me.
Or, I mean, maybe Rabbit can make an appearance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They gonna save him for part 2 because there is a part 2 coming.
yeah, and
Dude,
there's an owl.
yeah. I
Oh,
forgot.
that's a smart-ass owl. No, that smart-ass ain't in the movie.
He couldn't be in it because this movie's dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flew away. Just like, F this.
I could fly away and go get food,
I mean, honestly, they couldn't find an owl mask to do this.
or you could just eat Tootsie Rolls,
Yeah.
Tootsie Pops. How
many
many
licks?
licks does it take to get to the Tootsie? Oh, that's not the same thing, is it?
No,
Oh,
not the same thing. So they're like, well, we got to go find them. Instead of going for help, they go find their friend because they left her friend alive. And then they go back, and she's like chained up with a noose around her neck. It's like the thinnest rope you could. It's just bigger than twine.
It would completely snap if it had body weight on it.
And she's chained up, and she's and I don't know. She says something. I think she sees Christopher Robin maybe.
And this girl you're talking about, no, she's laying down. She's not.
The what?
She's laying down. She wasn't. But she does have a noose. But it's just
No,
so
she had
close.
chains on.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Maybe she was
her
laying-
name's Alice.
Oh, what?
Her name is Alice, the one that was tied up.
I thought that was Jess.
No, that's not Jess. Jess is right there.
Yeah, she's the one tied up.
Well, either way.
Is she? I don't know.
No, it's Alice is tied up.
Well, we've been saying this all wrong.
Okay, well, Alice.
You told
is
me
tied
her
up.
name was Jess.
Jess
Oh my
is the
God, we
girl
just
laying on
ruined
the
this
side of-
movie for these people. Holy
Well, you
shit.
can go watch it and form your own opinion and figure out who's who.
So she,
Hopefully, yeah, you can find it for free.
well, you probably go on the cinema app and find it for free.
That's bootleg.
Yeah, that
We'll
is
talk-
bootleg. So she's tied up, and then Pooh comes over and slaps the shit out of her. I mean, all you hear is sweat, sweat, and it's like 5-6 times. And what happens? I think the girls get there,
Yeah.
and you see like where they're hanging out at, and this is where like they got like arrows or what are them Airstream trailers?
They got a
Airstream,
bunch of them that are
Airstream,
like
not
micro.
Arrow. Yeah, like Airstream trailers, and like a wood deck surrounded by a fire pit in a circle, It's
They're still-
fucking nice.
By the way, this movie is still in theaters somewhere. Like you can go to McDonald, Tennessee, and watch it if you want.
Actually, McDonald's, Tennessee.
McDonald, Tennessee, tomorrow at 7:00. But don't go there because you need to be here.
But yeah. So the one girl's, they find her like that girl wakes up and all she has is a bruise on her face where Pooh just bitch slapped the hell out of her.
But wait till we talk about the end of the movie when something else happens. Don't make no sense.
Don't make much sense. How does she end up dying? Oh, I don't know how she. Is that the one that ends up dying that way?
That what way?
By Pooh?
Just go ahead and tell, because I don't remember.
Because I'm trying to think. This part I kind of blank out because they're like searching for her friend. Their friend, and they find her and they let her go. That's right. They find her, they let her go, and they sneak out, and then Piglet shows up.
No, that girl starts screaming from the
Oh,
gas station.
they find another girl, another woman.
And she is beat all to hell.
Yeah, and she's beat all to hell because we hear someone scream, and
we
they go.
can't leave her.
Oh, okay, we're leaving that part. Okay.
So far, every single victim has been a woman.
Yeah.
Yes. Besides Christopher Robbins.
But he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. So they find Chris because you hear a woman scream.
Then they said we can't leave her.
Well, no, you hear a woman
Yes, we
scream, and then
can.
you know what they do? They go release Christopher Robin, and Jimmy was like, "Is that him that screamed?" Like, holy shit, he sounds like that.
He's a scream queen.
How's it go, JJ? Go ahead. How's it go? How's it go?
Like a woman screaming.
I don't know.
Yeah, they totally
But
did not
and then he's like falling down, and he's like, "Go save her," and it's like, "Who's her? Who the fuck is her?"
So the only reason that she was at the gas station is so they can show her.
I'm pretty sure she was at the gas station.
Yeah, that was her. What happened to her boyfriend though?
I don't know.
Whoever
Maybe
guy
that was one of the three dudes.
Oh yeah, maybe so.
And they find her, and she's like, her face is all messed up and all this, and she sees herself in the face and starts screaming.
In the mirror.
What's
You
in the
should
window?
see.
Sees
Yeah.
herself in the window and starts screaming. Who what they did to me? And she just takes old girl's gun. Just takes it, and they're just like, okay. And she goes out there and like sees Piglet, and she just fires off, and Piglet shows up. That's what it was.
She
Shot one round, and Piglet shows up, and then they're like going around the fire, and then he just walks up to her and hits her, and ends up,
OB.
and she drops the gun.
They get the gun back.
I think-
Because she tries to shoot him again, and then it only had one bullet, so that was a suicide gun. Was all that was.
Yeah, it only had one bullet. So he kills her, and then the other three run, right?
Yeah.
But one of them stays back and hides. Correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, because two of them run off, and then the one hides, and the one that hid, Piglet's up there, and she takes the sledgehammer and hits him in the back of the head with it. Like, finally, somebody's done something. Got that motherfucker.
After an hour in this movie.
And then Pooh sees the other two and is chasing them. But she ends up taking Piglet back. I don't know how she got his big ass back there. To where, I'm serious, he's big. Back to where she was tied up at. And she's like, yeah, you motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. Something, talking shit to him. And Pooh's like chasing after them and almost has them. And then all you hear is Piglet scream because she takes the sledgehammer and just right across the head, just smashes his face in. You hear him scream. And then she's there, and then Pooh's there. And then Pooh had a machete. And he goes, grabs her by the throat, picks her up, and just takes the machete and stabs it right into her mouth, through the back of her head, and into the post.
That
He's
was
strong.
a super soft tree.
Yeah, he
He's
is strong.
No.
He's a bear. He got bear strength.
So bears can just shove shit through a
Yes,
tree?
obviously. Jason.
Jason Voorhees.
I don't know. We don't know. That's what we're saying.
Piglet and Pooh. Piglet and Pooh created a resort.
I'm thinking they created. They had a kill house and they have a machete in
I
there.
forgot to tell them that Piglet was on an exercise bike powering this.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. Yeah, he was powering the.
They have electricity too.
Yeah, they have electricity, and they show how
But
they
yeah-
get electricity because they start the generator or something up with the bike.
So
Dude, I'm telling
you see Piglet out there.
Because throughout the movie, Pooh's eating honey.
That's like his energy drink.
Yeah, he's like eating it and like
Oh,
it's
we
dripping down his
forgot-
face, and like when he turns around, he looks at him and like it's coming out of the mouth. And we forgot one part where
You see a bunch of like swarm of bees.
yeah,
Pooh is fucking Candyman.
he controls
He
bees.
controls bees now.
And we forgot another part where Christopher Robin, after he lashed him, they had the one chick over there, and they had some guts, and he threw it through something, and it like grinded him up, and he had a shower head
For some reason,
that just had blood come out of it and just wash all over him.
So we're going back and then he brings in a skeleton and puts it over by, and that's
His-
Christopher Robin's girlfriend.
Yeah, that was at the beginning. We forgot about
Yeah,
that. Sorry.
just sets it over by,
And like
just
she's
remind
like
him.
her bones are like scavenged over, like there's just the bones. I guess they.
She decayed really quick. Or
They ate her all the way. They just ate her all the way down. It's weird.
Pigs eat bones, so why is there still a skeleton?
No, yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
wait, we said we're gonna get her naked, 'cause they don't have clothes.
Well, we didn't see her naked.
obviously they killed her. They did
Yeah.
whatever they wanted with her. But
So the two girls are running, and they run out onto the road. They're back to the road, the big road, and here comes a truck.
it's got 4 guys. Yeah, 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh my
they're
God.
just screaming, "Oh, help us, help us!" And then there's the country guy. He gets out with his group of friends. What y'all ladies doing? Y'all high? Y'all drunk? What y'all talking about? A bear? You know, and then here comes Pooh. And if you seen a fucking bear walking that was yellow, and they're like, "Are you messing? Is he messing with you?" And they just act like it's a regular dude.
Yeah,
It's weird. And
they all get weapons.
yeah, they all get weapons, and then the two girls get in the car, the truck. It's a truck. It's a 4-door truck.
Yeah, and the one girl gets in the driver's seat too. They're about to. I would have just left. I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry.
and they get one of them had a bottle,
That was his weapon, a bottle. One had a crowbar.
one had a bat. What did the other guy have?
I don't know.
I don't know what he had, but
They just walked up to him.
yeah, and they walk up to me and they're like, "Yeah, boy, you're gonna feel pain. I'm gonna make you. You hurt them women. I'm gonna hurt you." Did he hit him with a bat? Or no, he hit him with a crowbar.
Yeah,
And Pooh just stood there.
like it wasn't nothing.
He's like, "Oh, you tough son, bitch, aren't you? Well, you're gonna feel this." And they just start hitting him, hitting him in the legs and hitting him there. And dude comes with the bottle and smashes it overhead. And he turns around and just looks at him. Slap.
Then slaps the whole side of his face
Yes.
off. But all of a sudden, this dude gets
I-
his whole side of his face slapped, but that other girl just got a bruise.
So I'm thinking his claws come out.
But never seen the claw.
You don't see the claws. You just have to.
They didn't have the money for that CGI.
Yeah, you just have to think. And the special effects on his face were good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that.
But look,
Yeah,
this was the
like,
funny
I mean-
part. He goes back to the car
And just starts screaming.
and puts his face up to the window screaming and just slowly,
It's just like.
yeah, just slides down.
And then he, what did he do? I don't know what he did to the one guy, because he ends up killing all of them. Somehow, like I don't know if he took the bat and hit one of them or
Yeah,
he
he
beats the shit out of them. And then now they can't start the truck.
of course.
Like, and the truck's running, the lights are on the whole time.
Then they finally get it going, And then Pooh jumps onto the back. And
No. They run him over.
Yeah, that's right.
They run him over, and he climbs up the back. And it's funny because he's like just hitting on the top.
Oh no! While he's climbing, up the truck and getting on it, they got fog going, and you hear the car, "Oh!" and really the car's barely moving.
And the great thing about this movie is they know how to use the shaky cam.
You see Pooh in the back doing this, falling all over the back.
And because you can tell it's totally faked.
Yeah.
But they got the engine revving real high, and
Then
everything's like moving. The camera's moving, and like they're changing the angle constantly.
They got a fog machine and a fan blowing fog to make it look like they're going really fast.
Yeah.
So pretty smart to do that.
Yeah, and then the girls were doing this, and all this, and
like you said, though, Pooh's on top of and smacking it.
And I'm just like, why don't you just stop?
Then they must.
That's
have
what
heard,
she does.
They must have heard Johnny when he said that, because, and this was a movie everybody was talking during this movie because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. So they stop, and he falls off, and it looks like he's knocked out, right?
Yeah.
But he's not. And then he comes to the door and pulls one girl out and stomps her head. Right? Like, just stomps her head. And the one girl, she's just there. Oh no, stop. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. And then he ends up grabbing her, right?
Yeah.
And she ends up starting to get away.
He's about to kill her, and here comes Christopher Robin.
Yeah, then he pulls her back to the truck. And like he has her head up against
the
headlight or something. And then Christopher Robin comes in, and they found a wrecked truck. I mean, they went to a junkyard.
Someone was pushing this car into.
They went to a junkyard, I swear, because
it didn't have no side mirrors on it.
No side mirrors.
It was completely gutted.
Yeah, the front, and it's like, I guess you overlooked that, right? Like,
because they were gonna.
It's a low budget movie, and they had to get a car, so he crashes into Pooh, and he rolls out, and the car, and it catches on fire, and that's where you realize, oh, they bought a salvage vehicle because they had to burn it. They were torching it, and we can't. You're independent. You can't afford to burn a new car.
Well, then Pooh gets up and pushes both cars away because he's so strong.
Yes.
And I figured they just popped in neutral.
And he has blood on his face, though. He's got blood, like, splattered, like, wet blood on the silicone mask that he has. Or fur.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
And then next thing you know, he just...
Yeah, like I said, I think 5
And then the front end of the other car, totally fine.
Nothing wrong with it.
And so he goes out there, and the two of them, Christopher and the one girl, they're all crying and hugging each other. It's like they've known each other for a long. They're just hugging each other and crying, and they're not trying to get away, of course. And then Pooh pushes that and comes out there, and they're falling down. Now it's raining, and they're falling down, and he grabs the girl. And guess what Christopher Robin does? No, Pooh, stop. I've known you forever, Pooh.
This is not
you can change, Pooh. This isn't you, no.
So
Don't do it, no.
Pooh grabs her by the head, takes a machete, slices her throat.
Yes. And then she goes back into his arms.
As he's doing that, he says, "You left." And this is when Pooh talks.
Yeah.
He just says, "You left," and cuts her throat.
And then...
and for someone that got her throat cut, she was able to do a lot while...
Yeah, because she fell into the arms and they were hugging, and then she did he end up crushing?
Pooh must have not done a good job of cutting her throat.
Did he end up crushing her head?
Yeah. It was a dull machete.
So and then Christopher Robbins ends up getting away, right?
Yeah. And then the credits roll. Are we done? Yeah. Credits roll, and then it says there will be a Winnie the Pooh 2.
Yeah, and that was the movie.
And we looked it up after, and that movie made $1 million so far. Oh, crap. So there will be a high budget part 2.
Without Piglet.
Yeah.
Hold on, no. You don't know if Piglet died.
But
So they never show his body. They just show that he got hit in the face with the sledgehammer.
he'll have a deformed face, and then
well, probably not.
with
But
this money that they got from all this, they will make a mask for the bunny probably. or the
they already
rabbit.
got a rabbit mask somewhere. But
So this is Sledgehammer, he was having an issue.
yes,
Yeah.
of course,
And all of a sudden, he's good with carrying it now.
she had anger
Now,
strength.
yeah, and the girl was carrying it no problem.
She had anger strength.
Oh.
She was like, no, I can lift this. No, I swear.
So yeah, the next one's gonna be completely ridiculous. It'll probably be about 3 hours long, like Terrifier 2 was.
Terrifier 2 was not 3 hours. It was 2 hours, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Okay, 2023, is it Pooh Bear or Cocaine Bear?
Cocaine Bear comes out next month, next week.
Yeah, it's actually. Cocaine Bear. I don't know if y'all seen the
Oh
trailers
my
for
bad.
that.
Terrifier 2 is 2 hours 18 minutes.
Yeah, and we talked about Cocaine Bear before there was a movie.
Yeah.
Like somewhere it popped up, and it's
Waylon
like,
Jennings actually owned the actual bear for a while.
Successful because it's Winnie the Pooh, people are just like, what the heck is
yes.
Have you
and
seen the trailer for?
No, he's talking about Winnie the Pooh,
Oh,
Blood
my
and
bad.
Honey. That's the only reason why people come out, because everyone knows Winnie the Pooh. Like it is your childhood. Well, some people it's like grew up watching. I grew up in the '80s, so I watched a Winnie the Pooh that was not cartoon. They were dressed up, and then Dumbo's Flying Circus was after that. So I'd get out of kindergarten, I'd go watch both of them and eat my pizza and drink my milkshake. So thank y'all for coming and listening to us. Tomorrow, at 12 o'clock, we're doing a Little Debbie snack bracket brawl.
And we have snacks to give out. to
We
people.
got 16 types of Little Debbies, and we're gonna cut them up, and you're gonna get to try them, and we're gonna put them against each other, and we're gonna have the Con Nooga best Little Debbie of Con Nooga, voted by everyone that comes.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be at 12 if y'all want to come, And I like your Spaceball. That's freaking badass.
I've got the hat, the sticker, the bumper sticker, and the magnet.
Hell yeah, and the magnet. Thank
Hey,
you. But so yeah,
They can pretty much horrify anything.
yes, and like with
was he in here when we was talking about?
You can horrify anything.
yeah, and that's with all this Disney stuff coming to the public domain. That's why Bambi's gonna get done and Peter Pan's gonna get done. And if Tigger ever hits the public domain, he will get done because Tigger would probably be a better horror movie because, like I told Jim John, I say, how you think they're gonna have him bounce on his tail? And I already figured it out. They'll have a fake leg on one, and then his leg will be in the tail, and they can hop around. When he's hopping on his tail, they can hop around and have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a fucking perfect idea because his tail is crooked when he's hopping. It's like a foot. Just saying, that's gonna work. And then if you had like Tigger, I mean, it wouldn't be a rabid tiger, but I mean, all
It's just
all
gonna-
tigers are feral, right?
It's just gonna be a tiger mask on the guy.
He has to be fuzzy, man.
It's not for Johnny to go with special effects.
Yeah, right. But once he hits, and Mickey Mouse was claimed like they almost lost that because it's so old. So
Could you imagine
if that
Mickey
ever
Mouse?
hits public, if that can ever hit it, and they will be like Disney.
Oh, Disney's about evil anyway, so.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, why do you think this Pooh Bear movie is so?
yeah,
It's because it's a childhood and it's so popular, so they take a shit movie, but makes so much money because it's a
yeah, and they probably didn't have hardly anything put in the movie, but they did. I mean, like I said, it was shot really well. The cameras they used, they were good. It wasn't the shitty fucking.
The acting wasn't too terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like the acting wasn't bad. It's just the story was.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They did.
Well, and because
They didn't
you
think it would
shoot
take
that
off
in a
like
couple
it-
of days. Like that's a movie you don't. But
Movie they didn't really even think would even
no,
be a movie.
they didn't.
They were
Apparently,
kind of fun things.
that company.
They're fun.
What we were told is that company does like 60 movies a year. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. but because we haven't looked it up. But like it's a small, and they just churn out movies. And if one hits, well, they finally hit their mother load. You're making a shitload of money off this. And if you put 30 grand into it, and you're making millions at the box office, you're getting a huge return. So it's like Terrifier. I mean, that's exactly what it is. But Terrifier come up with a Kickstarter and raised $300,000.
That's how they got Felissa in it.
Yeah. And it hit. But Terrifier also, art.
As of right now, worldwide gross is 1,840,000. They're about to hit $2 million.
And you have to think the success of Terrifier really made to where now, like, you're seeing these little independent movies getting short releases. But the success of Terrifier has pushed, the genre further. And that's great. I don't know if, I didn't.
Why do you think that is? What do you think is different about Terrifier? There's so many movie directors that they do the same thing, but why do you think that everyone leaned towards Terrifier? Because I saw it, and the first time I saw it, I was like, this is great. Why do you think that is? How did it get so popular? No, they didn't have it.
The first one was like 30 grand. To me, which $30,000 is a lot of money.
To us, yeah.
I mean, really, that's a good budget for a movie, like for an independent movie. But Terrifier, Art the Clown hit is what happened. Really, you don't. There's
$35,000 budget for Terrifier, the first one.
all right, that's what I was thinking.
It only made worldwide $76,000.
But it didn't get really shown. You got to think worldwide. We made it $100-something. Like in Nashville. But
Worldwide gross for Terrifier 2 made $14 million.
yeah, but Art the Clown, when I think the horror industry had a super dry spell of icons, of like unique characters, and like Victor Crowley, the Hatchet series should have been bigger than what it should have been. Sure. And because it's them are good movies. I don't know if you ever seen the Hatchet series, but it's written and directed by the same person, so therefore it goes along and it's understandable how the story moves. They're good.
There's probably gonna be a part 5.
I can see that. But with Art the Clown, it's like dry spell, and that the first Terrifier come out 2015 or 16, so it's been a while for the. And
2011.
2000. No, that was
Is that the?
that's Tricker. That was the.
That's a short.
Yeah, the short film.
2016 was the movie.
All right, that's what I thought. So the dry spell, and he was funny. Art had like, you got a mom that's out there, but I really think like these movies have become something because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like the whole reason why these movies, you had a lack of movies for a long time, and you still have some movies, which it's the theater has pretty much come back. Besides, they did move some movies around last year, like what was the devil one that I still haven't got to watch, and I wanted to watch it. What was the devil? Pray for the Devil. It moved from February to October. That was the biggest mistake they could have done last year because the pandemic. They're worried about shutting down stuff at the beginning of last year. The biggest mistake they ever did was come out during Halloween, and Terrifier come out that. But I think really it's helped because of the pandemic, and these movies are getting pushed out because you need other stuff out there, and this is getting people to come to a theater to buy popcorn, overpriced. Yeah, that's why I've said it many times. I don't buy popcorn or drinks. I wouldn't be able to afford it because I was going to the movies. I think in 2021 I watched 2021 through 2022, I watched 29 or 30 movies. I had been to the theater like 30 times because I use that unlimited pass like crazy.
Yeah.
No, I had Regal because it's Tullahoma. If I lived like, I don't use it as much anymore. I gotta cancel it because I'm not hitting the movies as like I used to. But
You should.
if I lived like 5 minutes down the road but living 15, there's a hindrance, and after a while it gets.
You should cancel after Cocaine Bear.
Well, I'm going to watch Ant-Man Sunday. I'm going to leave here, go pick up my girlfriend after, and we're going to go watch it. My friend, yeah, so we're going to go watch it, and then, I mean, there's so many other movies, I hate to cancel it, but I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I guess that's it. So,
Yeah, I guess that's all we got. We out.
peace. Thank y'all for
Now
showing
it's
up.
time to say goodbye to the basement guys again. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Or that is, spooks and spells. Take your shirt off. Y'all come back now, you hear?